Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. So this lesson is about reharmonization. That means we're going to take an existing song and we're going to find new chords to play over the same melody. Now, that means that you're probably going to need to already know about chords and keys and probably intervals, and probably have already several songs that you can play well enough that they actually sound like the song. But even if you can't do that, you might pick up some interesting theory bits along the way. So feel free to join us. The goal, though, is not this song. It's not about the song that we're working on. It's really about taking the concepts you like, the reharmonizations, the substitutions that you like from this lesson, and then applying them to other songs that you already know how to play. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside, so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what, Jamin? My song Never Forgot just hit 10,000 streams on Spotify.
Wow.
And I'm really excited.
That sounds like a whole lot to me.
I'm so excited. I have
That's-
to tell you, I had Rattle the Stars and Floating on Spotify for like a year.
Okay.
And I think Rattle the Stars has like 1,400 streams or something like that.
Okay.
Which is,
I was gonna
which
say,
is
yeah.
awesome. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
after a year.
super. Right, exactly. But Never Forgot just came out a few months ago and it has 10,000
Wow.
streams. I'm so excited.
You're so awesome.
Oh,
Way to go.
thanks, Jamin.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So go check out Never Forgot. Never
Thank
Forgot.
you.
By Didn't I said Never Forget the first time, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay.
okay. Never Forgot.
I say Never Forget sometimes.
By Kendra
I don't know.
Dantes. Check out
But
all of her stuff.
yes.
Rattle the Stars and
Oh,
the other. What was the other one?
Floating.
Floating.
But you don't have to check that one
Floating
out.
is
That was a lot. That was
It's
a
like
while
the
ago.
title track off of your first.
That
yeah.
was my EP title.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
That's,
cool. All right, so
was
go
a
check
while
out all of
ago.
her stuff.
Thank you.
And then today we're going to actually your play along MP3 is her singing this song. It's a cappella, so you'll be playing the chords along with her. So if you are like an absolute beginner and you're showing up to this beginner lesson, you're like, let's dig in. I need to know where all the notes are. We ain't doing that really right now. This reharm stuff is kind of like assumes that you can already do all the stuff we did last week. So if you're an absolute beginner, you want to go back to last week and check out some so you can evaluate whether you need to go back to last week's lesson, the tutorial on this or not, and then we'll be ready to move forward with reharming this thing. So if you paid attention last week, you practice up those chords, then it should sound something like this, because they don't have the audio feed. But yeah, so but your play along track, if you download that, it'll be her singing. So ready? Here we go.
Oh, yes, right now. Okay, sorry, I'm ready.
What we want to do is, okay, so there's two ways to go about this. One is this list down here is the list of all the reharm concepts that we have covered in all of our lessons so far, based on the melody, the bass line, and the chords. Now, whether you're doing that or whether you're using the random generators of ideas here on learnpianolive.com/reharm, which is what we're going to use today, just to prove to you all that I'm picking these things truly randomly, and that the version that I come up with at the end is not something that I selected out of my great magnificence of musicality, but it was just really random concepts that you can do with any song, and they usually turn out at least all right, sometimes excellent. So we're going to use those today, but you've got all these listed here, and then you've got the video links next to all of those. So if you're wondering, like, what in the world is reharmonizing on the melody, then you can click on that video link next to it and go through all that. So we will not get through all of these today, but you have all of these in here. We're just gonna pick some random ones. But no matter what you're doing, whether you're on the website here or whether you're on this thing right here, the first thing you want to do is add 7s and 9s and 6s or 13s to all these chords. So that just means, so let me show you how that works. The very first chord that we want to play on this thing was back up to here. So this A minor right here, and if you would, Kendra, please zoom out here so we can see all these notes. So this is our A minor chord. So this one's instead of the root. So we're gonna play the A minor chord with that note, and then put the root of the chord in the bass like we did last week. So that right there is the 7 and the 9 of the chord. Now we can put those, of course, anywhere that we want, just in the same way that we can play any of the inversions like we talked about last week. We can play any inversions. We can also put the 7 and the 9 anywhere we want. So we don't have to put them right there. We could put them right there. Or put just the 9 right there and the 7 right. So that would be our A minor chord right there. Those are our note options. You don't have to play all of them either. You can just pick and choose which notes out of there are convenient to play. But each one of these things is a thing to practice. And maybe that right there is where you step back and go, whoa, hang on, forget this reharm thing. I need to work on my A minor 7-9 chord, A7-9 inversions. I'm sorry?
It looks like your stream might have gone out for a second, but I think it's back now.
Oh, you're right. It does look like the stream. So Instagram is the only one that's still with me?
I mean, I haven't gotten any complaints yet.
Cool.
But
we'll keep going until
see.
they complain in the chat room. Okay, cool. Wave to all of you on Instagram. Okay, cool. So then adding in the 7.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit
Hang on,
big.
I need to underscore this one more time. So I'm not going to change any of the chords. We're not reharming yet. All we're doing is adding 7s and 9s to all of the chords. Cool. I haven't changed a thing.
The YouTube chat says it's glitchy and a little bit choppy.
Yeah, I believe it. It looks like it's really freaking out over there. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's probably going to be fine in the archives, But at the moment, actually, go ahead and send us to the fix it thing, and we'll.
What?
Oh, the little like, please stand by. Do, 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 do. Thanks. Okay, so just adding in the 7s and the 9s to all those chords. Let's go at this thing.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now. Our song on the radio, but it don't sound the same. When our friends talk about you, all it does is just tear me down. 'Cause my heart breaks a little when I hear your name. It all just sounds too young, too dumb to realize that I should have bought you flowers and held your hand. Should have give you all my hours when I had the chance. Take you to everybody, 'cause all you wanted to do was dance. Now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man.
So that's all just adding in 7s and 9s. We haven't reharmed a thing. That's just what 7s and 9s sound like. The next thing you would want to do after that, according to the list, is add in the 5 of any chord before it. So there's probably the easiest way to come up with the 5 of any chord is just to literally play the chord, and the note that is, if it goes 1, 3, 5, the 5 is the 5 of that chord. So let's of the A minor, 1, 3, 5. Cool. So if that's 1, 3, and 5, that's the 5. So we would just take that letter E, and we would say, okay, that's the E. We want to play an E, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw on the number 7 here, an E7. That would lead into the A. Let's try one more. Here's a C chord. Hopefully that makes sense so far. And so we've got the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the C chord. So the 5 of C is the G, and the G is what would lead into the C, specifically the G7. So we're just taking the 5 of each chord and making it our own chord out of that one note, and then putting it before the chord to lead into it. So then the 5 of the D minor. So we've got D minor. The 5 of the D minor would be this note right here. And so like this, starting on an E7.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now.
So there's a lot of movement in there. Let me try that again.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now.
One more time.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now.
So this is just the 7s and the 9s of the chords plus the 5 of use as our jumping off point to throw in the rest of these reharm concepts. But first, let's take a quick little break.
Hey Jamin, it's time for the feature of the day, which today is the app of the day.
The app of the day is a paid app, and I try to go all free apps for you guys. But this site right here, ultimateguitar.com, used to be super duper clunky. Oh wait, hang on. It's still super really great information in it. It's actually, this is like, I would say 40% of the job that I used to do teaching private one-on-one lessons was this stuff, where students would come in and they'd want to play a song and I would have to transcribe it. Well, these songs are already transcribed. They've got the chords in here for virtually any popular song that you would want to play. But like I said, the site is nearly unusable, and the app I think is like $5 or $10. So if you go to this site and you find, well, this is like a miracle. Like this is now I don't have to pay for private lessons anymore because I've got all the chords that I could possibly want. Then cool. You also want to go download the app because the app is going to make all of that so much more user-friendly. So I would recommend, that's like one of the only apps, music apps that I pay for. That and iReal Pro, which is the one other one that I'm always talking about here, are probably worth the money if like playing chords for popular songs is a thing that you want to do. And this has all of them listed out, so you wouldn't even have to have this harm. Then you can reharm pretty much any popular song out there. So that's probably worth the money. If this is something that you're super duper into, I'd go steal that one. Okay, cool. Let's get back to our song after this short break. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.